I cannot wait to use this one. I think I want it for my dress. I'm back and I thought I would show you guys some new fabrics that I've got coming out. These are available as of now. I'm just waiting for the coat hangers to put them in the studio, but they're pretty much available now and they are beautiful. So there is a ton of beaded fabrics here. There's also heaps of lace fabrics, boho lace type fabrics, as well as some plain fabrics that are in newer forms. So I will timestamp some of these fabrics so that if you want to go straight to the beaded fabrics or straight to just the lace fabrics without any beading, the boho fabrics, you can just look below and fast forward so that it's not boring, because there is a ton of fabrics here. I am actually going to keep a small amount of fabrics out, which I'm planning to use for my collection because I want to do a separate video for that. And let's get started and have a look at some new fabrics. So we're starting off with the plain, boring ones, okay? All of these will be in ivory. I always get every fabric in ivory because I think it looks the most beautiful, and with laces, it looks the most expensive. So the first fabric we got is a jacquard satin, and it's a new satin that we've got, and I'm zooming in because I want you to see the texture of this fabric. Absolutely beautiful. I've already made a few gowns in this and it is stunning. It's quite a structured fabric, so it goes beautifully with big ball gown skirts, pleated, you know, box pleats in the skirt, that sort of thing. If you're thinking volume and fullness, beautiful. I'm just going to dump the fabrics down here in a nice order. Okay, this one's called a twill satin, and bear in mind these still need to be steamed, so just ignore all the wrinkles. But so this is a twill satin, and this is a heavier weight than the one that was just out, but it's got a beautiful line through it, and this has actually been really popular as well. Can you see the texture? I've got my hand underneath so you can sort of see when it moves. This fabric is same sort of concept. You'll see a lot of gowns that are actually out in this fabric already. So I thought I'd get it into the studio because I've had a lot of requests for plainer satins, but interesting satins, if that makes sense, not just the normal satin. Now we're getting into cotton fabrics, and this one actually has a bit of an embossed pattern through it. This fabric is called Fabergé, just like a Fabergé egg. And really good for those relaxed cotton style gowns. Another one of those fabrics, this is a cotton style fabric as well. It's got no sheen to it. This is called herringbone, and it's got these beautiful herringbone pattern, the zigzag in it. Next one is French etching. So this is double layered, and I double layer these laces so that you can see the whole roll, because sometimes it's full on one end and then not full on the other. So that's why I do that. Just like this one, you can sort of see that's one end, and then this is the other end, which is really full. Now this fabric would be absolutely beautiful in one of those delicate lace gowns. It's a really soft lace, and the actual lace is like embroidered, and it's quite delicate and soft. Here is a boho lace, and now we're getting into the boho laces. This is called Boho Bride 3. That's the underneath, and let me move that one out of the way. And then this is the top. I've already started making gowns in these laces, and they look stunning. Absolutely stunning. So keep your eyes posted on my Instagram and my website to see images of those gowns. So this is a chunkier style cotton. So cotton lace means that it's a soft lace. It's really soft and smooth to touch, and there's no 3D piping around, which a lot of French laces have. So that's what this is. Really nice style. This one's called Sari because of these beautiful patterns. is a lovely lace as well, in the ivory color. I love laces that don't have many flowers. I'm not a real floral girly girl type of girl, so I find it interesting, and I always try and source laces that are not so floral, but I also have a floral range as well for those girly girl type of brides. Now for something interesting, this is Chunky Leaves. This is also a cotton style lace, very chunky here, but the actual tulle is very soft. It'll be great for one of those gradual ball gowns that sort of go up, very organic style. This is Sari 2. It's the bottom, or the top I should say, and then that's the bottom there. Beautiful. This one's Boho Bride 4. Now some of these you'll see there's another sticker on this side, and that means they're either a premium fabric, a luxury fabric, or a royalty fabric. So we have 3 different levels of pricing when it comes to our fabrics. We also have fabrics that don't have any sort of margin on them whatsoever, so, and they're all our standard fabrics. We have a lot of lace fabrics, satin fabrics, and standard bridal fabrics that have no extra charge. But for something specialty or something that's quite exclusive, like these sorts of fabrics that are not available everywhere, we have a little bit of a margin because it costs extra for us to actually order this in. So, Boho Bride 4. Now we're starting to see more of the cross hatching here. I call this lattice design. And that's been really popular over the past year. I've had more and more brides wanting to come in and want this sort of lattice design in the lace. So I've ordered a whole bunch of new laces, a ton. So if you are interested in lace with this lattice style, call me, because I have heaps. This one's called Palace 4, and no, let me see, this one, might skip that one because it's got a tiny bit of beading, tiny bit, so I'll wait till I do the beaded fabrics to put that one in. So now we're on to Boho Bride 5, more of this lattice design, and you'll see this one's larger than the last. So if you're after a more bold style, this is sort of more chunkier up here. And then this, just beautiful. I get so inspired when I see fabrics, and I just want to make all these dresses, and I just know sort of what fabric will go with what. This one's called French Riviera. So that's the bottom, very French traditional style. So not a typical French lace, but it is a type of French lace. Just doesn't have the piping detail. Beautiful. Now we're going to Art Deco 1, and you'll see why it's called Art Deco, because it's got this beautiful Art Deco design through it, and you can sort of see that's the corner, so you can see that this would be mirrored over and over again, and it would have, you know, this sort of angle. Absolutely stunning. And then the top is like that. You can sort of see the pattern. Okay, French Etching 3. This is a much busier pattern than the other French etching that we saw. So fuller design, but still, because it's that etching style, it's still quite sheer. You can sort of see here, you know, it looks like it's full there, but it's actually still see-through. This would be stunning as a sheer gown. Stunning, people. So that's that side, and then there's this side. Full and beautiful. This is just French etching, so no number, so this was obviously the first one that I got in. Just the patterns are just stunning. more of that lattice, but not too much. A couple of dots as well. Really sweet, sweet fabric. And you can imagine what this would look like on a gown. Now we're getting into some sequin fabrics. And I only have a few of these, and I wanted to show you because I want to show you what I do when I add sparkle to a gown. When someone wants a bit of an added something without fully heavy beading or anything like that, I would use this. So this fabric is called Rain, and it's because it's basically covered in clear sequins, and you can't really see it unless it moves like so. And what I like to do with this fabric is I would never ever really use this on its own. I would only use this as a layering piece. Let me give you an example. So I've picked up French Riviera, which we saw a few moments ago. I've layered it with Rain, the sequin layer, and then I've put an ivory twill satin underneath. So imagine it's a normal satin. But I just want to show you what you can do. And I'm going to get up so you can actually see properly. But can you see the sequence underneath? I don't know if the lighting's good enough here. But in daylight, this would just sparkle. So that's a way for us to add sparkle to a gown without adding beading. Some people don't want heavy beading, but they want a shimmer. And this is how we add a shimmer. Every time I have done this, the bride is always wowed, and so am I, just because it looks so beautiful. So that was Rain, and we use that a lot, but we've never actually had a sample of it. I've only ever had it on a dress, so that's why I've got a sample in so that I can actually layer it and show the customer, okay, so if you want that particular lace, if we put this underneath, it'll look like this. A lot easier than pointing out a dress and saying, imagine it like this. Alright, here's another new fabric. It's called Ariel. I cannot wait to use this one. I think I want it for my dress. It's called Ariel because obviously it looks like scales, you know, but it's just this, it's a bit see-through. So, not see-through, but it's, I think it'll look a lot nicer if it's actually layered. Let's have a little play. So that's it layered. It's just got a little bit more body, but stunning. You can imagine like a whole slinky dress. Very Jessica Rabbit, but a white version. Beautiful. This one's called Heavy Rain. Can you guess why? Because there is so much more beading and sequence in this fabric. So this fabric wouldn't be layered. This would actually be on top. So for you to see what it's like, up close, there's actually a whole lot of sequence, but there's also beading on top of the sequence. Quite heavy. You can sort of see on the side. Let me see if I can show you a side version. Can you actually see it? You can see the sequence. See, they're sort of popping out. Stunning. I think that'll look beautiful too. I think these will all look beautiful, which is why I ordered in the fabrics. Silly me. So this is Enchanted Forest 1. Now I've got quite a few fabrics that look similar to this in very varying densities. So that's why I have named them sort of like the same name 1, 2, 3, 4 because it's similar. So this is Enchanted Forest 1, and now we are starting to get into the beaded fabrics. So this is basically beaded fabric, the start of them. This design I just think is beautiful. So it's like this, you know, I called it the Enchanted Forest because it's like a rainforest, but it's like under the sea. It's just stunning. I'll lift this up so you can see. And then if you look up close, you'll be able to sort of see there's beaded sections, sequence sections. And we can use the trims as well, and we use them sometimes for sleeves or necklines depending on what the style is or what the customer wants. Now here is the chunky leaves but it's a beaded version of Chunky Leaves. So the Chunky Leaves that we saw before, this is similar. That's not showing you the beads, so I'll lift this up. So you can sort of see here, this is for more the organic style gown. Beautiful beaded fabric. Don't know what it is, I just love my beaded fabrics. I know they're not for everyone, and I don't even know if I'd have it on my wedding dress when I get a wedding dress, but I just love it so much. You know, why not? I'm a wedding dress designer, damn you. I can have a beaded wedding dress if I want a beaded wedding dress. We will see. Okay, this one's called Sari 3. So that's the bottom design, and then the top. So this is obviously a lot heavier here than on the other side. And then if you go in closer, you will see it's quite heavily beaded there on those branches. Just beautiful sequin. Beautiful fabric. That one is called Sari 3. So this is called Palace 4. So I've got a few in the range of the Palace range. And basically this is really royal looking, you know, like something you would see in a palace. There's a lot of that grid work on this, the lattice. There's also a lot of curves. There's a heart shape here. Very cute. But if you look at this one, it's not heavily beaded, but there is some sequence. Just a little bit of something, and this layered with the rain, the sparkly, the sequin layer underneath would be stunning. Stunning. Ugh, can't wait to work with that one. Temple. This one's called Temple. You'll see why. That's the bottom design. And then the top one. And you just look at the beading. I don't know if you can see it. A lot of sequins. You can see that's all filled with beads. Beautiful. Okay, diamond lines. It's quite obvious really. This is the same front and back. Diamond lines. It's just basically tiny diamonds, and it's fully beaded. Sequin like that. Really hard to see these laces when they're not layered, but I like you to see them in their raw form, so that if you do want a sheer element to your gown, that it is a possibility with laces like this. I do a lot of sheer gowns. I also do a lot of layered gowns that aren't sheer, so you know, it really depends on the customer. This is probably my most full-on fabric, and you'll see why. It is so heavy, oh my god. This is called Palace 1. So when I saw this one, I thought I have to make a range, a Palace range. So really full, dense pattern. And I'll show you the beading in a second. It is completely filled with beads. Let's have a look. All in the lattice. You can see it's fully beaded. It's just full on. You can sort of see here, like all of this is beaded. There's beading down here on all the flowers. Full on. Palace 2. Okay, that's the bottom design. That's quite beautiful. That's going to be really popular, I think. Just this design here, you can see this on the center of a gown, looking stunning. Can't see the beading work yet because I haven't dropped the front one down. But basically, look at that beautiful love heart design in there. It's got these cool leaves on either side, and this one is quite heavily beaded as well. Look at that. Gorgeous. Love it. The leaves are probably my favorite part. Okay. Okay, Palace 3. This one is really interesting because the pattern is quite cool. Really big lattice design. This is the front. And quite heavily beaded. You can sort of see all of those leaves are beaded. Wowzers! Palace 3. Cabbage Patch. So this one is basically a whole bunch of really large leaves, and they're all beaded. It's quite heavy, and the stitching, the embroidery is really heavy as well. Very interesting. Okay, last few ones left. Last two. I can't believe we nearly got through them all. Art Deco 2. This is Art Deco 2. So the other Art Deco one we saw was similar to this, but it didn't have beading and was not as dense. So this one has basically beading, a lot of beading, especially sort of here. So in here, there's all this beading. Whoa. It's actually quite heavy. It's actually quite heavy. Beautiful sort of design and hem. Okay, so Enchanted Forest 2 is the very last one. It's one of my favourite fabrics. So, the Enchanted Forest design you saw before. This is very similar in these flowers and stuff down the bottom here. Similar type of flowers. It's got more sort of bold work that you could sort of run down the middle of a bodice or in the middle of a skirt. And let's have a look at this one so you can see the beading. So it has a lot of different designs here. It's got sort of this, and then it's got this one which looks a bit more symmetrical. So what am I going to show you? I'm going to show you this beaded work. Look at it. It's just insane. It is quite heavy as well. And then I'm going to show you this. The swirls. Love the swirls. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. And then when you get to the bottom, it's just, you know, intensity plus. Just stunning. Whew. Okay. Well, I really hoped you enjoyed all those fabrics. I am super excited about designing dresses for them. I think they're going to be stunning, absolutely beautiful. Really some interesting different types of laces that I haven't seen before, and that's what I really try and do whenever I'm sourcing fabrics, is that I try and find things that I haven't seen or that I haven't seen anyone else using, so that it gives me, you know, a bit of an exclusive edge. And a lot of my brides do tell me that the fabrics they see at my studio they don't see anywhere else, so that's a plus. I also think that, you know, to be making unique gowns, you really want to find fabrics that not everyone is using. You want your gown to look unique, like you've designed it and made it yourself, because you have by, you know, custom making a gown when I custom make a gown. So all these things we're thinking about, and just getting the perfect fabric or a great range of fabric is always a big part of that. Keep those fabrics in mind if you are thinking about designing your dress, and think about the type of style that you would like, whether it's a boho style, whether it's relaxed, whether it's, you know, glamour from the 50s, whether it's simple and classy and elegant, or whether it's fully beaded and extravagant. I do pretty much any type of gown under the sun, because all our gowns are made from scratch. So it's basically just up to your imagination. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment or send me a message, tell me what you want, and I look forward to seeing you next time.